Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. You're welcome again to Fintech Africa podcast. It's another edition today, and I'm pretty sure we're all going to have a wonderful time today. Without wasting much of our time, we'll go straight into the program of the day. The first thing I'm going to do is play the intro for the guest today. So enjoy yourself today, everybody.
Joshua Ukit is the national president of National Association of Microfinance Banks in Nigeria. He is the current managing director of Alekan Microfinance Bank in Ogun State, Nigeria. He is a graduate of applied chemistry from the Federal Polytechnic Edo Ekiti, where he obtained his higher national diploma, HND, with distinction, and also has a master's in business administration, MBA, from Ondo State University. His work experience spans over 23 years with experience across microfinance, retail, corporate and mortgage banking. He is a certified microfinance expert from Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, a member of the Institute of Credit Administration, a microfinance certified banker, MCIB, from the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. He is also a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants and a certified management consultant. Joshua is an alumnus of the Coady International Institute, Street FX University, Antigonish, Canada, School of African Microfinance, SAM, Kenya and Lagos Business School. He is a consultant to Opportunity International, UK on education finance. Joshua Ukit is the national president of National.
Over to you, Uche.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Mr. Joshua. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine, Uzo. Thank you. And how are you too?
I'm great. I'm great. So excited to have this session with you today on the African Fintech podcast. So we have just a couple of questions to ask to get to know you and how you're impacting the nationwide and also in the fintech sector. Can you provide background on the Association of Nigerian Microfinance Banks and its mission in the Nigerian financial landscape as a whole?
Okay, thank you, Uzo. It's a pleasure to be here once again to have this conversation around the effects, the impact of microfinance banks in Nigeria. The National Association of Microfinance Banks is the umbrella body of all licensed microfinance banks in Nigeria. Currently, the association has over 700 microfinance banks as its members. That's deposit taking licensed microfinance banks. And this association has some of its cardinal objectives around capacity building, around linkages, around trainings, around membership services. It's a way of bringing everybody under the within the microfinance ecosystem together to advocate and to ensure that our clients and other stakeholders, are well impacted with our businesses.
Amazing. Amazing. So sustainability is a critical topic across various industries today. How do microfinance banks in Nigeria fit that broader context of sustainable finance, and what role do they play in promoting sustainable development?
Okay, so today all around the world, it's all about sustainability. It's not just about how you do your business, for profit. It's about how you take into considerations environmental and social and governance activities in your business. So for microfinance banks, originally, microfinance banks are set up to take care of two broad initiatives or two broad roles, which includes having the social impact and also the profitability aspect of it. So it's we can say that microfinance banks are probably one of the few set of financial institutions that um, have initial sustainability in its processes. So just adding the governance, the environmental structure into it. So for microfinance banks today, look at how do we ensure that our activities, our product, our services, further impact and promote and support one of the 17 sustainable development goals. So that is what we do. We build our service around one of these goals to ensure that at least the environment, livelihoods, families are left better than we met them.
Awesome. Microfinance banks have also been associated with financial inclusion. How do you see the connection between financial inclusion and sustainable finance? And how are the microfinance banks in Nigeria contributing to these objectives?
Okay, so in Nigeria, financial inclusion has been the front runner, especially for, of course, it's a government initiative, it's a government pursuit goal. So before the advent of microfinance banks, most clients, most families, individuals, small businesses could hardly get financial services. They are not exposed to financial services, so they are not in the financial net of the country. So microfinance banks came aboard, and we went to the excluded of the population. We went to the excluded areas. So today you find at least a microfinance bank in in every local government, all of the 774 local governments in this country. So microfinance banks are closer to the grassroots, are closer to the people, and bringing financial services to the people. Therefore, improving inclusivity in terms of finance. So if you look at this and you juxtapose it with sustainable finance is all about how do you consider the social goals of in your business. And financial inclusion is all about looking at the social goals, because you're not just dealing with those who have been, who can have access to finance, but you're also looking at those who have been excluded and you are bringing them in. And I can say that this financial inclusion that microfinance banks do further strengthen, sustainability.
Great, thanks. Thanks a lot. I was going to actually the next question. Well, I was going to ask a question before I dive into what I have here about what sustainable finance is, and I think you explained it to us in detail, so that people can marry the two and understand
Mm.
what the differences are. So, sustainable finance encompasses um, various aspects such as environmental, social, like you mentioned, governance, ESG considerations, and how how are microfinance banks incorporating ESG principles into their operations and services? And why is it important to do that?
Okay, so microfinance banks are incorporating ESG principles, even though in Nigeria it's something that we are still trying to ensure that every microfinance bank, has the ESG principles into their operations. So For example, how will our clients fare when it comes to issues that border on climate, issues that border on energy, issues that border on gender, equality, issues that border on women access to finance. So we have microfinance banks that have created specialized products, especially for women only. We have microfinance banks that are, that have target product and services to women. So doing this, they therefore ensure that the inequality, as it was then with respect to gender, is abolished. We have also microfinance banks that have products around climate resilience management and initiative to ensure that we don't just give our customers loan, we don't just give our customers credit, but we give them credit to be credit on to take on some issues around energy. Because one of the major problems we have in this country today is energy. So if you have the micro entrepreneurs really, if you can have a micro entrepreneur that can have access to energy, of course, that person will produce more. It will have a positive impact on his or her livelihood. So microfinance banks have developed products and services in this area, and definitely the governance structure of our banks have been strengthened to ensure that some of these things are well taken care of.
That's really great to know. Because sometimes you hear about microphone, I would think it's just give me money to do business, but there are other aspects of it that like you just mentioned here about the energy, and literally, if a business doesn't have the capacity to produce, or
Yeah.
in the case of manufacturing, then
Mm.
what are they really doing?
Yeah.
So it's good to that you shared that.
Yeah.
What are some specific challenges and opportunities microfinance banks face in Nigeria when it comes to promoting sustainability and responsible financial practices?
Okay, so when it comes to promoting responsible finance practices, one of the major challenge microfinance banks face all around is the issue of increase in operating costs. As at today, the cost of servicing a customer of a microfinance bank is almost four times the cost of servicing a customer of the regular deposit money banks, regular commercial banks. So one of the major challenge microfinance bank have is high operating cost because of course microfinance banks still operate within the economy, within the context of the Nigeria economy, where you have various indices coming, and with the interplay of all these indices will result in higher operating costs. Another challenge that microfinance banks have when it comes to sustainable finance and responsible finance practices is staff skill, the skill of staff. So that's why at the association level we ensure that microfinance banks professionals, microfinance bank staff are trained and we train and we train and we train. We engage our customers, we engage our clients, we let them understand their responsibilities, we let them understand their rights, we let them understand what they should have with any microfinance bank so that any erring staff or any erring professional, will definitely be taken, be reprimanded. So that's another challenge when it comes to sustainable finance. And another challenge also, even while we understand that governance is important, yes, the governance structure of most of some micro, let me not say some microfinance banks still need to, be improved because the truth is everything that the microfinance bank does still comes from a very good governance structure. So governance is still another challenge that we face in this industry.
Okay, thank you so much. You mentioned of high operating costs. So are there any interventions or initiatives that maybe your association provides in partnership with other associations or even with the government to reduce this operating cost for um, some of these microfinance?
Yes, yes, yes. We have. So we have looked at the operating cost of microfinance bank, and we we have identified, say, few indices. Number one is energy. Energy takes a whole lot of the cost of running a microfinance bank. So, and that is why we are speaking sustainable finance. So, we are looking at what are the alternative sources of energy that a microfinance bank can use or should use. Should we depend all the time on the national grid? You can't even go use diesel or PMS anymore because the cost is there. So microfinance banks have been advised to look at alternative sources of energy. So we're also partnering with providers of alternative sources of energy like the solar, people that do solar, people that do other not do solar things, to see how we can take advantage of this. The other aspect of cost, again, a microfinance bank have is channels. The channels through which services and products are delivered to our customers. Those days, you will hear microfinance banks say, "Oh, okay, the CGAP model say that one staff should be able to manage at least 250 loan customers." But the truth is that
Wow.
250 loan customers doing an average of how much? An average of, say, 50,000 naira. How much is that? There's no way you can pay one person to do that. So yeah, I mean, you can't even scale, you can't improve, you can't be, I mean, profitable. So you're looking at how do microfinance banks serve their customers effectively, less cost, I mean, with less cost, but effectively. And one of the ways is going digital. So we also partner with various technology services providers to see how can we leverage on their services to scale, to reach more people for speed, and at lower cost, so that at least one staff should be able to manage at least hundreds, if not thousands, of customers.
Yes, yes. Okay. Um, that's great. I was really curious to know how that cost is being managed. So, and now with the rise of technology, all these things can be addressed, um, and the cost can be reduced. Thank you so much. What are some specific, or let me put this, in your view, how has the role of microfinance banks evolved over the years, and what are some of the emerging trends in the industry that will be discussed at the conference?
Okay, so the role of microfinance banks over the years, microfinance banks in Nigeria have evolved. Microfinance banks have evolved from that bank. Those days they used to say microfinance bank as that bank that can only sell the micro of the micro. Okay, the bank that can only walk door to door to pick deposit and go door to door to save.
Mm-hmm.
That bank that will only just gather people, and say, okay, let us use group lending methodology to deliver services. So over the years, things have evolved. We've seen microfinance banks doing other financial services. You have seen everyone doing remittances. You have seen microfinance banks doing some form of DF and digital financial services. You have seen microfinance banks do a whole lot of other things. And the truth is, currently the opportunities are there for microfinance banks, to take. So at this conference, we are looking at um, what other areas, how can we improve our businesses, living the traditional method, living what we used to do, and the emergence of fintechs. I mean, right now you have seen a handshake between the fintechs and microfinance banks. You have seen microfinance banks deliver their services on the platform of the fintechs,
Mm-hmm.
because traditional microfinance banks have the customers, the fintechs have the infrastructure
Technology.
and the technology to reach. So there's this handshake that come with them. And I can tell you, microfinance banks have really come to say. For example, during COVID, when every other financial institution failed, It was microfinance bank that was there. Even this year, or even last year, this year, during the cashless policy. Remember, there was that time in the country where for you to do transfer, we were having transfer failures. We were having a lot of
Yes.
things. But there were one or two of our members who have handshake with fintech, and before you know, those ones, their services were top notch, and we could see clients move from the traditional banks to this hitherto unknown microfinance banks because of the platform that they're using. So it has evolved. It has evolved from those traditional days of going door to door now to having a full-fledged financial services provider.
Amazing. So technology is playing a key role in this advancement. The Association of Nigerian Microfinance Banks plays a pivotal role in supporting and regulating the microfinance sector. How does the association envision its role um, evolving in the context of sustainable finance?
Okay, so the association plays a key role, and like I said, one of the major role of the association is to ensure that the industry is well manned and well skilled. Now, in improving the skill of the professionals in the industry, the association ensures that knowledge is adequately shared. And so, for sustainable finance, for you to even adopt sustainable finance practices, you must understand ab initio what sustainable finance is. So, one of the things we are doing is we are bringing our members to understand that, look, this is what sustainable finance is. Sustainable finance is not just you doing your product, doing your banking, and all you do is, okay, am I making profit? Am I not making profit? So, so the first thing is knowledge sharing. The second thing again is linkages. Okay, once you have the knowledge, how do you implement? Implementation will involve you linking with other players in the ecosystem. So the association tries to bring other players in the ecosystem together so that they can interrelate and they can interplay and they can take, and our members can take advantage of the various infrastructure and strength within the ecosystem. So all we do generally is to see how do we pass knowledge, how do we train our members, how do we link our members to what is happening, and how do we open our members to opportunities that are bound there. And also, one other thing we also do that we're striving to get to is to see that how can we within ourselves self-regulate our members so that the regulators, CBN, NDIC, and other regulators, we have it easy with us because when we self-regulate ourselves, then a lot of these smaller teething issues we will have taken care amongst ourselves, and then the industry is better for you.
I agree. Okay, so what advice or insights can you offer to microfinance bank professionals, entrepreneurs, and stakeholders who are looking to align their operation with sustainable financial principles?
Okay, so the truth is there an option? That's the question I've asked myself. I don't think there's an option. The truth is, if you look at the sustainable development goals, the 17 goals, for example, you have goals around quality education, around quality education. Currently in Nigeria, 10% of our adult population are out of school. So that's by UNESCO's report of 2022, saying that about 20 million Nigerians are out of school. So will it not be nice for us to play our role as financial institutions to ensure that we finance education in such a way that we have safe school, that we have quality education, that we reduce the out of school population in the country. If we reduce the out of school population in the country, the truth is we have a set of people who go to school, who be well trained, and who in the future will also come back to the industry and also serve customers and also serve clients. But whereby we don't do that, in 10, 15, 20 years, we may not have people to work anywhere or even to pass on the knowledge that we have. So it is necessary that microfinance banks adopt sustainable practices. We talk about gender inequality. We talk about even access to finance for for small scale industries. So my advice would be that microfinance bank, like I said, it's always in our DNA to look at the social aspect of our customers while we also look at profitability, that is giving value to our customers and also getting value for ourselves. So it would be nice for us to take all of this all together in line with the various ESG considerations in doing our businesses. That is when our customers will be happy.
Yes, and we always want to make customers happy.
Sure.
Financial technology, fintech, has been a game changer in the financial industry. How are microfinance banks in Nigeria leveraging fintech solutions to enhance their sustainability efforts and better serve their clients? I know you have spoken about it in the past, but just give us more insights into this. How are they able to do this working with fintech?
Okay, so like I said, in our channels of distribution of our financial services, before in the last maybe 10 years ago, it has always been in person. It has always been person to person distribution. I have to come to you to either pick your deposit, or you come to me to save your money. I come to you to talk to you about loan, or you come to me to talk to me about loan. It has always been person to person, and that has reduced outreach. I mean, humans can only do as much as they could, and also that has also reduced our level of interaction. So, what microfinance banks have done now is to engage fintechs. Fintechs, probably not only in terms of speed or distribution, in terms of analyzing the behavior of our customers. So there are solutions there are solutions that microfinance banks have today that that they deploy to analyze, okay, what is the behavior of our customer, because the world is moving. Of course, the world has moved to doing getting finance based on your social behavior, based on your behavioral pattern. So because today, if you look at apps, there are some apps that you use them today on online for transfer. They will tell you, okay, what are you doing? Are you paying for school fees? Are you shopping? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? So there are solutions that analyze all of these things and say, oh, okay, Uzo in the last 6 months, she has spent 10% of what she has spent on buying books. Joshua in the last 6 months has spent 10% on buying pizza. So if Uzo and Joshua goes to a microfinance bank, the question is this: there's no way a microfinance bank would have known this 10 years
Right.
ago without technology. But today, if we go and analyze our behavior, our spending pattern, I'll take a decision to say, okay, do I want to fund somebody that spends money buying pizza? I want to fund somebody that spends money, having knowledge. So these are some of the things, that are the game changers in this industry. And I think microfinance banks are also, part of this.
That's great. So now they're more personalized experience and tailored experiences for their customers.
Yeah,
And so they know whether to, oh, do I give this person a loan, or what kind of loan will best suit this customer?
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
access to clean and affordable energy is a significant sustainability goal. Are there any initiatives or partnerships within the microfinance sector aimed at promoting access to clean energy for undeserved communities in Nigeria?
Yes,
Oh, sorry,
yes, there are.
underserved
Yes, yes,
underserved
understand.
communities in Nigeria.
Yes, there are. The association has entered into partnerships with, and we do this on a regular basis. We review some of these things regularly. We have entered into partnerships with various companies or various institutions that provide affordable energy, that provide clean energy, that provide solutions for the undeserved. Because the people that we serve mainly are the micro entrepreneurs, and according to the report of I think is it the MBS report. It says that there are over 40 million micro entrepreneurs in this country. So people that will start micro entrepreneurs who need energy, like I said earlier in my opening remarks, to produce. So we understand that for us to remain relevant, for us to remain relevant to our customers, then therefore there must be a way to get them to be in business. Even those that are not using energy for business, the truth is this: um, livelihood. Households deserve to live in a comfortable place. So we have partnered with a couple of um, solar companies, with a couple of clean energy companies to say, okay, how do you, what can you do? Can you provide some of these things? Can you do mini grids in some areas? Can you do some little solar solutions in some areas? So that I know some microfinance banks that what they do is that when customers come to take loan, they introduce some of these solutions to them
Okay.
and they add it to what they are doing and they pay over time. Our customers may not have the financial cash flow to pay immediately, but they can pay well over time. And as they pay well over time, their businesses, move on. And even in their homes, you see them, happy. For example, where my bank is a place where you need to have timetable of when a PHCN restores power or not. So definitely at night when you go around now, before in a few years when you go around everywhere is pitch dark, but now you wouldn't even know if there is a regular power or not. So these are some of the things we do with some of these our partners.
Thank you very much for that. In the context of sustainable
Yeah.
finance, what role do you see for microfinance banks in addressing social and economic challenges such as poverty alleviation and women empowerment? I think you mentioned it earlier, but if you can speak to that.
Mm.
Poverty alleviation and women empowerment.
Okay. So it's when you empower the woman, the household is empowered.
Yes.
So what microfinance banks do is we have focus for women to ensure that women must remain in business. Generally, that's what microfinance bank is all about. Microfinance generally, that is what it's about. So that women remain in business. So women empowerment, poverty alleviation is a fundamental of microfinance bank, and you can hardly get either for women or for girls. You definitely have microfinance that have such product because we believe that once women have access to finance, once they have access to financial services, they are well empowered.
Yes, I like that. Empower women and empower the households. Very, very, very important. Sustainable finance often involves investing in environmentally friendly projects. Are there any notable success stories or projects within the microfinance sector that have contributed to environmental sustainability in Nigeria?
There are. Some years ago, energy company to distribute cooking. Some of these customers got this cooking gas and they paid
Mhm.
over time. It's it, it's called the it was then called the O Gas Initiative. That is that's a notable success story. And currently, I know we have some very notable green renewable energy companies that have partnered with our members in terms of distribution of renewable energy solutions. In various cities across the country. So these are some of the success stories that we have. We have a couple of one or two microfinance banks that have actually the funded mini grid in an in an underserved area, in an area where there are no power, where energy is almost absent. So we have the stories all around.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that success story. Microfinance banks often work closely with local communities. How can these institutions foster community engagement and partnerships to drive sustainable development in the regions they serve?
Okay, so yes, like I said earlier, there's no local government to get to that you not find a microfinance bank. Microfinance now started from community banking. So we have the community banks who have now become microfinance bank. Upon the microfinance banking regulation that started in 2007. So usually microfinance bank work closely with the community because microfinance banks are the community banks, are the banks that the
Yeah,
community see as their own. It is
yeah,
in a microfinance bank that somebody will be bold, will be comfortable enough to come in shorts. Microfinance that somebody will be comfortable enough to come with their wrapper, bring their child, waiting to be served, so they see it as their own. This when it gets to the regular banks, probably because they see all of us regular banks all wear kitted up and suited up, they may not see us as they may not see as their, but microfinance bank they see as their own, and they are involved in everything that the microfinance banks do, right from hiring of staff, right from engaging the community, even from from setup, and even most of these communities are shareholders in this microfinance bank. Some rest constantly invest in this microfinance banks and they
right.
get their dividends. So definitely, microfinance bank work closely with their immediate communities. So that is one thing that we have that is a strength to us, and that's why we are still growing.
That's great. It's very, very important to for them to engage in the communities that they're impacting. Regulatory framework play a crucial role in shaping the operations of microfinance banks. Can you share any insight into how regulatory bodies in Nigeria are supporting or encouraging sustainable practices within the microfinance sector?
Okay, so this question you just asked is one of the reasons we decided to discuss sustainable finance at this conference. In 2012, the central bank, you know, brought out the sustainable banking policies for the regular development and regular deposit taking banks and DMBs, mortgage bank. But as of today, there is no sustainable banking policy for microfinance banks. So the I think it's about nine, principles. It's about nine principles that is contained in the 2012 document. If you look at it, yes, so microfinance bank today, all we are doing now is okay, we are reviewing these documents that are for this commercial bank because what we do is is different. Our level of operations, our customer segment, they are different. So the regular commercial banks, they are different. But for today, the only document that we have today is the one that is for the DMBs. They're also trying to see how we can adapt it to our own level. But we believe that after this conference, we hope and we believe that it will now, it will
Said,
probably make the regulators to come out, with a policy and a sustainable banking policy and principles for the banking sector.
great. So or is the association working hand in hand with the CBN to get this done?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, we are. Yes, we are. So at the conference, we are very very fortunate to have at the top most level of CBN, the deputy governor of the financial system stability, who will be the keynote speaker. He'll be there. We also have the managing director of the NDIC. These are two major regulators. So when you have the regulators there, then we can discuss this matter. And I'm sure that after this conference, we'll have that policy for the microfinance banking sector.
Okay, great. I'll be looking forward to to seeing that policy come to life. So let's
Yeah,
talk
I'll share
about
that with you once it comes.
amazing. Let's talk about the conference for a little bit. So this forthcoming conference has the theme sustainable finance, the evolving roles of microfinance banks. Could you elaborate on why this theme was chosen and what it signifies for the microfinance um, sector in Nigeria?
Okay, so we carefully chose this thing because one, we wanted to bring home to microfinance banks, boards, practitioners, management of the need to start looking at adopting sustainable finance practices, of the need to start, to start considering the environmental, social, and governance in their services and their products. We thought that it would be necessary for our colleagues to understand that banking services as not as involved. It's not just about the consideration for profitability. It's also about the consideration for the environment where you do your business, about the consideration for the people that you serve, the people that work with you, the people that that you interact with, and it's also about how your governance structure ties around all of these things. So that is the reason for this conference. And we believe that after this conference, the awareness would have been created. Microfinance banks will go back and review their processes, review their policies, review their product and services to see where they're lagging behind and where they need to moderate, to be able to ensure that sustainable banking practices, are involved in their operations, especially since we have our own roles to play in attaining at least the SDGs.
Yes, yes. Can you share key objectives or goals for, I mean, I guess sustainable finance is part of it. Are there any other objectives or this is the sole objective?
Okay, so the other objectives, like the byline for this, we say it is learning, networking, and leisure. So
Okay.
learning, that is learning. We have various topics. We have topics around. So we also have scheduled best practices. So we'll be listening to what happens in other clients. So we're having the director of we're having the director of supervision of the Bank of Uganda, who is just like director of the central bank office, talk to us about what does BOU, what does Bank of Uganda, how do they supervise their own microfinance institutions with respect to sustainable finance. We also be having people that will talk to us about how we can partner with how partnership with microfinance bank to achieve education. There's a particular microfinance bank called Edfin Microfinance Bank. They are the only specialized microfinance banks in Nigeria. And what Edfin does is all about education finance. So they just chose one of the SDGs to say, this is the area I want to focus in. This is what we do. And they have been doing it very well. So we want to see what options are available. Can microfinance banks, go into specialized services? Can we have, for example, I'm looking forward to a day where we can have a microfinance bank that will just be solely on green energy. That is all.
Okay.
That is all they do. But I don't know because you have to look at the model and say, do you have enough customer? But I think this can be done. So the conference will bring about. Then we have speakers that are coming from across Africa. Those who have flair and passion for sustainable finance. Then apart from learning, it's also a time for good to network because we are bringing practitioners, we are bringing regulators, we are bringing other players in the ecosystem to come. So I think it's a time to network, to be able to exchange ideas and exchange, the things we are doing. Then lastly, because people are always too busy looking at their P&L, POLs, we have said that, okay, let us take um, this program outside the conventional hustle and bustle, Lagos or Abuja. So we are bringing them to a place where once they enter, they will not be able to go out. So at least they can rest. So they can rest well, they have leisure, they can interact with nature, and at least for once, that at least there's life. Life is not just all about looking at
Outside
your
of work.
system and ensure, yes, yes. So those are the objectives of this conference.
That's amazing. um, for those interested in attending the conference or getting involved with the Association of Nigerian Microfinance Bank, how can they find more information and participate in this important event?
Okay, thank you, Uzo. Well, let me say, unfortunately, physical attendance participation has closed.
Okay.
I would say that probably when the team was planning for this conference, November last year, just plan for something small, not more than 100 people to come to sit and talk about it. But over time, we have exceeded the facility that we want to use. But people can still join. I mean, all over the world, you can join on using the virtual platform. It will be
Okay.
streamed live to our virtual audience. And for other information, our website is there to you give further information about the conference and also about the association. Because after this conference, what we excuse me, what we want to ensure is that the association keeps engaging with every stakeholder in the microfinance banking sector, every stakeholder in the sustainable finance sector, so that we can link them with our members and we can further our businesses.
That's great. Please, what share your website with our audience.
Okay, the website is www.namnigeria.org. Okay, probably maybe I should just chat it here. I will just so I will just bring here. Mm,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
yeah.
so much. namnigeria.org. So you
Yes.
can visit them to find out more about the conference and register for the virtual sessions and also find out more about um, the association if you would like to join.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With most of the questions on this, you answered them, and we're so excited to see, especially waiting for the sustainable policy that the CBN will roll out in the
Yes.
coming.
Yes.
Hopefully, it doesn't
Yes.
take too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
do you
I
think it
hope
will take? Maybe 1 year, 6 months, 3 months?
Okay, so with the current leadership, I'm sure in a couple of months after today, because it's also in the front burner. It's something they're excited to see. So
Oh,
so I'm
nice.
sure we'll
Yes.
have it. Maybe latest maybe 6 months or so. We should have it out.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Uzo.
try and join
Yeah.
the conference online.
Yeah.
But where is
Welcome
this
to Denver.
really, nice and closed venue for the conference?
Yeah. So we call it a retreat. So you come
Retreat.
there.
Okay.
If you come there, you come with your car. Your car is parked. You can't go out. You are
Can't go
there for
out.
the 3 days. You are there for the three
That's
days. So you
nice.
have games. We have games. We have nights and networking at night. We have a lot of things. So you enjoy yourself. Then you go back
Okay.
refreshed. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Zo. Yeah, it's nice engaging with you.
Thank you, everybody. We have come to the end of Financial Inclusion Fintech Africa podcast today. It's nice having you. Thank you, Uzo. Thank you, everybody. You enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.